sell women's shoes.
And the Stallion.
Stallion, baby! I am not what you would call a handsome man.
I'll kick you in the nuts and you'll smile at me and like it.
Oh, nice!
We are back with another episode of the All Night Long Wrestling Podcast. We are your hosts. I am the Enforcer. He is the Stallion. Episode, got anything for me?
I don't know. I don't.
Probably 70-something, maybe?
Yeah,
No?
we've been doing this for a little less
quite
than 2 years. So
Quite some time.
a week, right? One a week for 2 years.
There were a couple times we did 2 a week.
And
The
it's
dark
couple weeks-
days of-
couple weeks we missed, right? And,
The Google Hangout days.
and then carry the one. And,
Subtract 6, and here we are. All Night Long Wrestling Podcast coming to you live from the All Night Asylum. I would like to announce that we are now in cahoots with, I believe they say. Actually, you know what? We're part of the stable of the Damage 365 radio network. What that means is you can now find us at Spreaker.com/shows/all night long WP. Spreaker.com/shows/ANLWP. I lied to you. We shortened it up because I can't spell. It's a lot of words, a lot of syllables. But we are very happy to be part of the Damage 365 radio network. A lot of like-minded people that, and it's not just professional wrestling on there. You got cooking shows. You know, you got professional wrestling shows. You got real sports
talk. There's some movies, I think.
Movies,
So
cinema. I
music.
believe they call it cinema.
It's a very wide array of selections here for shows on the Damage 365 Radio Network. So we are happy to be a part of that, and we hope you guys check us out.
Yeah, like I said, Spreaker.com/shows/ANLWP. What show quit do you think that made room for us? Like a Bob Vila Home Improvement Hour?
Yeah, what is that? This Old House? I think
Wow.
Tim Allen's on that, right? That's his thing?
Unbelievable. We are 3 minutes into the new episode. You've already popped me. Well, this week we're going to be talking about WWE Raw, WWE Smackdown. We have a new segment we're going to debut called Stump the Stallion. The Stallion over here has no idea what I'm going to say, but let me tell you guys something. I know I joke a lot of Joe's vast knowledge of pro wrestling. Me, BK, and Joe were hanging out here 2 weeks ago watching Raw, and I asked him, I think it was, what was the dark match of WrestleMania 8? And he literally came up with it off the top of his head. So don't go feeling bad for him that he has no idea what the question's going to be, because I can almost guarantee you he's going to pull it out within 5 seconds anyway. So
See, now this is bad, because this whole gimmick is going to go down the toilet if I don't get the question right the first time out.
Bro, we'll just edit it out and post. It'll be fine. We'll let it out.
That's fair.
Make up a whole new segment.
Is it on the run sheet?
Let me check the run sheet. No, and actually, this is the first. I got one of them Microsoft tablet laptop whole deals. I got the Microsoft Surface Book, which is a laptop tablet in one. The thing pops off. It's awesome. So I was able to start taking some notes. I took copious amounts of notes of stuff I want to talk about, because I got a lot of opinions. When I'm watching Raw, I'm watching SmackDown, I got a lot of opinions, and I want to talk about them, and I forget, because I get so into the discussion here. You know, I lose where I'm at. But now, we're going to be good. I feel good about it. I got 3-4 pages. I got a mission statement. I got a hypothesis, a couple of other things. So we're going to be just fine. And we also have this week's 5 count.
Yeah, so for anybody out there, 5 count it's basically just we'll come up with a topic about, basically ranking our top 5 for, whatever it may be. So we've had in the past, top 5 WrestleManias, we had top 5 matches of the year last year, top 5 gimmick matches, things like that. So we're going to have a topic this week that's, topical, current, in terms of the state of things.
Like an ointment?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
it.
That's it.
Like Neosporin.
Neosporin.
So we'll have that later in the show as well.
All right, cool. Where do you want to start, buddy? You want to start with some Monday Night Raw talk?
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to. We could sit here. Listen, off air before this even starts.
Behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes.
Fourth wall broken down.
Yeah, I'm breaking the fourth wall here. We've spent probably the last 20 minutes talking about Kenny Omega. Anybody who listened to our show last week knows Joe hates Kenny Omega with a burning passion of 1,000 suns. He thinks he's overrated, ugly. His parents aren't proud of him. I don't know why he got so personal when we were talking about that. But I happen to be a fan of the cleaner. Joe, not so much. Joe, not that Joe's not a fan. He just hates him. Like Macaulay Culkin hated everybody in The Good Son.
Wow. That's okay.
That's how much.
I mean, I think there's, a little hyperbole going on here. A little exaggeration, maybe, perhaps.
Can you define hyperbole?
It's, a little bit overextended here on the description of my dislike for Kenny Omega. I don't hate Kenny Omega. I don't think he's a bad wrestler. I just don't see him in the same light that a lot of the other or a lot of other wrestling aficionados see him, especially based off of or coming off of his match with Okada at Wrestle Kingdom.
The match of the year, that one?
Yep, the match of the year on January 11th. Yep, I agree with that.
Yes!
So
1 for 1,
11
Daddy.
days in, and we have the match of the year. So, yeah, that's kind of where I don't really I just don't fall on the love fest of Kenny Omega, where I heard Dave Meltzer called it one of the greatest wrestling matches in the history of pro wrestling. I feel like that's a little bit much for me. It's a little bit too much to take, all right?
Listen,
can everybody just let it simmer for a couple of days, a couple of weeks maybe? We'll watch some other matches that come in for the year and see if it's even the best one for this year. I mean, can we maybe pump the brakes, everybody?
Well, I think I know what, for you, is going to fall into your top 5 match of the year.
Well, I mean, listen, the guy he's a accomplished worker. Main eventer. You don't stay a main eventer for as long as Roman Reigns has without putting on quality matches. So
here we go. Mark and the Funky Bunch is coming out.
Anytime this guy's in the ring, you got a shot at an all-time classic. So
I literally don't even know where to begin. We'll begin with Raw. Let's.
Speaking of Roman Reigns, let's go right into it. There's nothing I like better than starting my night by talking about Braun Strowman for 20 minutes. So if we can go through that. We're not going to do that because I feel like if I say that and people think we're going to do that, they're going to just turn off the show.
I think they probably turned it off when we mentioned Neosporin. I think that was the
So
point.
it's my fault, is what you're saying.
No,
it's my fault people turn off the show.
I led you to that, and I think together we as a unit had already jumped the shark.
Okay.
Thank you to all listeners. No, we're just kidding. Let's talk Raw for a little bit. This week on Raw, the opening match was Braun Strowman versus Sami Zayn. Oh, no, wait, it was Seth Rollins, but you couldn't tell because it was the exact same match he's had with Sami Zayn a couple of times.
No.
Well, which isn't a bad thing. Hold on. You hear me out here. It's not a bad thing. Braun Strowman is working longer and longer. Maybe this next week he'll get into double digits. Maybe he'll make it to 10 minutes. But until then,
I think he's made it past 10 minutes.
Well, in a gimmick match when Sami Zayn bumped for him like crazy. But I will say this, Braun Strowman is a lot less of a bull in a china shop than he used to be. And I'm thinking he's learning to work like a really like a good big man, and his matches are definitely more enjoyable than they ever have been. And you're putting him against guys like Sami Zayn, like Seth Rollins, who are going to bump their tails off for him, and it's making him look even better than he actually is. So I thought it was a good match. Yeah,
I thought it was good. I mean, it's like you said, he's sort of learning how to, or getting more experience, I guess, working longer matches on Raw, and with these guys that can the smaller guys than him that can bump around for him a little bit. So this was sort of set up at the beginning of the show with Stephanie McMahon and Mick Foley and all of that. And Seth Rollins was kind of started a brawl with Strowman backstage, and they ended up having this match. Went to a double count out, which is fine. Neither guy really should be losing at this stage. I mean, Lord knows Rollins has lost enough over the last 4 or 5 months, and Strowman there's priming him for a big push. So I think that was good that they kind of did a double count out there, and no harm, no foul.
No, definitely not. And they, like you said, double count out kind of protected them both, so that was fine. Next, we got to the gentleman. What's his name?
Jack Gallagher.
Yeah, he's got some kind of gentleman something. The lazy gentleman, the ginger gentleman. You know what? We're going with the ginger gentleman. So the ginger gentleman, Jack Gallagher, defeated Drew Gulak in 3 minutes and 40 seconds. Jack Gallagher is getting an awful lot of TV time, huh?
He is.
He is. What do you think of his work in the ring?
I think he's not bad in the ring. I don't think that I don't think a lot of the cruiserweights have really gotten a chance to show everything they can do since being put on the main roster. And so I don't know if Gallagher's capable of more than what he's shown. But, I mean, he's all right. He's certainly not a high flyer. That's not his thing. He's more of a ground-based and kind of a submission European-type wrestler. But, he's okay. I mean, his gimmick is somewhat entertaining, at least for now.
Do you watch 205 Live?
I don't.
Okay.
I can't justify it. I just can't do it.
I've been watching 205 Live. Maybe that's why I feel like I'm getting triple the dosage of Jack Gallagher that you are. His gimmick it's catchy, but you gotta cut it back a little bit. You gotta scale it back. Last week there was a duel, and then this week there was a parlay, which is a contract signing, and he's taking up a lot of my TV time, and there's a lot of guys out there. So, which would be fine if my TV time is spent on a wrestling match, but giving Jack Gallagher 3 minutes and 40 seconds to work against Drew Gulak, probably not what I would do, but what do I know?
That's fair.
Not a guy that books, Joe. I'm not a booker.
So that was followed up by this episode of Raw featured two returns. One was The Undertaker, which took place later in the show, and then the other was Shawn Michaels. He appeared and started doing a promo. He has a movie coming out that was, I think, a WWE featured film or something along those lines. It's coming out later this month. He started to do a promo. He was interrupted by Rusev, Lana, and Jinder Mahal. They had a bit of a back and forth. Enzo and Cass then came out, continued the back and forth, some insults, and then Big Cass defeated Jinder Mahal in about 3 minutes. Shawn super kicked Rusev on the outside of the ring near the end of the match. This match was not good, I'll say.
No,
it was not good.
Nope.
There was this spot that I think Big Cass was doing one of his moves, and they kind of, I don't know if he just slipped or whatever, and it looked really weird. And Jinder kind of took a weird fall off of it. So it wasn't good. This whole Big Cass and Rusev feud, I had higher hopes for it, and it's just not getting it done for me right now. Not in the ring, and there's not really much going on in general with it.
100% with you. Also, you're probably the biggest Shawn Michaels fan I know.
I would say that's probably affirmative, yeah.
What did you think of this big return?
I think it's, it would be nice for them to do more with him when he makes appearances, because he doesn't make them that often anymore. So it's a little disappointing that they kind of just had him do this, essentially a comedy promo, and promote his movie and the Royal Rumble, which is in his hometown of San Antonio. I thought it would have been nice if he was added or officially announced for something at the Rumble, considering it's in San Antonio and they're trying to get 60,000 people in the building.
Special guest ref, special guest ring announcer, anything that made sense in anything. But to me, I don't want to use the term waste, but you really overextended yourself by putting Jinder Mahal in the same ring with Shawn Michaels. Yeah, that's an issue that I have.
I think that's okay. I think as far as what you're saying, I don't think that waste is a bad word to use in this case. I felt somewhat similar in terms of when he's around, I'd rather him be in an angle than just doing a generic promo and then interacting with mid-carders at best.